Baby, emergency message for you. Don't ignore it. Started with a single vibration in the dead of night. I almost didn't check it, but something, a gut feeling, an unshakable instinct, made me reach for my phone. One new message. The sender, unknown number. The text, emergency message for you. Don't ignore. My pulse quickened as I sat up in bed, my fingers hovering over the screen. Messages like this weren't normal. Not for me. Not for anyone. I hesitated, then tapped to open it. And what I saw next, it changed everything. A message that shouldn't exist, attached, was a blurry image. At first, I couldn't make sense of it. Dark streets, a row of cars, a person standing under a street lamp, and then I recognized them. It was me. I swallowed hard, my grip tightening around my phone. The timestamp on the image, 2 minutes ago. A chill ran down my spine. Someone had taken a picture of me, right outside my apartment. I jolted up from my bed, rushing to the window. Nothing, just the empty street below. But someone was there. Someone had been watching me. And now, they wanted me to know. The second message came fast. Another vibration. Another message. You're in danger. Leave now. My stomach twisted. This had to be a prank, a mistake. But the picture, the timestamp said otherwise. I moved to grab my shoes, my heart hammering, but then my door handle rattled. Someone was outside, and they weren't knocking. They were trying to get in. The rattling at the door sent a spike of adrenaline through my veins. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't a mistake. Someone was here, and they weren't trying to knock. They were trying to get in. A second too late, I took a slow step back, my pulse hammering so loudly I could barely think. My phone buzzed again. Another message. You don't have much time. My breath caught. Whoever was texting me, they were watching this happen. My mind raced. Do I run? Do I hide? Do I fight? The door handle twisted harder this time, and then a click, unlocked. My stomach dropped. I had locked it. I knew I had locked it, and yet someone was opening it right now. Nowhere to run. I didn't have time to think. The door creaked open an inch, then two, and that's when I finally saw it. A gloved hand, pushing the door open. Someone was coming in. I backed up fast, searching for anything I could use as a weapon. My lamp, the chair, the heavy metal flashlight on my nightstand. I grabbed the flashlight, gripping it tightly. Another inch, then another, and just as I raised my arm, ready to swing, my phone buzzed one last time. A final message. Don't fight, just run, now. My grip tightened around the flashlight, my breath coming in shallow gasps. The door was open just enough for me to see a figure standing in the shadows. I couldn't make out a face, only the outline of someone watching me, waiting. My phone vibrated again, in my other hand. I glanced down. Run. Every instinct screamed at me to listen. Whoever was on the other side of that phone, they knew something I didn't. And right now, I didn't have the luxury of questioning it. The escape that almost didn't happen, I bolted. Not toward the front door. That's what they'd expect. Instead, I turned sharply toward the window. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't planning. I just moved. Behind me, the door swung open fully. A rush of air. A single heavy footstep inside my apartment. And then a voice. Stop. I didn't. I lunged toward the window, throwing it open, the cold night air hitting me in the face. It was a 3-story drop, too high to jump without breaking something, too late to turn back. Footsteps closer now. Don't make this worse, the voice warned. I gritted my teeth, bracing myself to do something reckless. I was about to climb onto the ledge when I felt a hand wrap around my wrist. The grip on my wrist was iron tight, cold, unforgiving. Whoever they were strong. I twisted, trying to yank my arm free, but the fingers only tightened, pulling me back from the window. "You don't want to do this," the voice said, low and controlled. I couldn't see his face. The shadows kept him hidden, but I could feel his presence, tall, steady, dangerous. My heart slammed against my ribs. "Who are you?" I hissed, trying to mask the fear in my voice. He ignored my question. "You need to come with me now." I shook my head, my pulse hammering. "Not a chance." His fingers twitched against my skin. "They sent me to bring you in alive," he said, voice calm. "But if you fight me, I can't promise that stays the plan." A chill ran through me. "Who sent you?" I demanded. For the first time, he hesitated. And that's when I knew he wasn't working alone. There were others, watching, waiting, and I was already in deeper than I ever realized. A choice I didn't want to make. Another vibration in my palm. My phone, the unknown sender. I managed to glance down just long enough to see the message before his grip yanked me forward. "If you go with him, you won't make it through the night." My stomach dropped. This wasn't a kidnapping. This was an execution, and I had seconds to decide whether I was going to let it happen. The words on my screen blurred as the man's grip tightened around my wrist. "If you go with him, you won't make it through the night." Every nerve in my body screamed at me to do something, to fight, to run, to survive. Because whoever this guy was, he wasn't here to help me. "Let go," I growled, twisting my arm. He didn't. Instead, he yanked me forward, forcing me to stumble back toward the middle of the room. "You don't get it," he said, his voice eerily calm. "This isn't your choice anymore." I clenched my jaw, my pulse hammering. Like hell it isn't. I wasn't going to let them take me. I wasn't going to disappear. Whoever was sending me these messages, they knew something I didn't. And right now, they were my only lifeline. A desperate move. My mind raced. I didn't have a weapon. I didn't have time to think. I had seconds. So I acted. I stomped down hard on his foot, throwing all my weight into it. He grunted, his grip loosening. For just a second, it was enough. I twisted free, grabbing the nearest object I could find. A heavy glass paperweight from my desk. I didn't think, I just swung. It smashed against the side of his head, and he stumbled back with a curse, his balance breaking. I didn't wait, I ran. More were coming. My feet pounded against the floor as I bolted out of my apartment, shoving the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. I sprinted down the hall toward the emergency stairwell, but then I heard it, more footsteps, coming from below. I skidded to a stop, my chest heaving. They were already here. They had planned for this. I turned just as another set of footsteps echoed from behind me. Trapped, nowhere to run. My phone buzzed again. I forced myself to glance down. Another message. "There's only one way out. The rooftop, now." I sucked in a breath. The rooftop. I didn't even know if the door up there would be unlocked, but I didn't have a choice. Because if I hesitated for even a second, I was dead. I didn't think. I didn't hesitate. I ran. The stairwell loomed ahead, dark and narrow, the emergency exit sign flickering weakly above it. I shoved the door open, my breath ragged, as I sprinted up the stairs 2 at a time. Below me, heavy footsteps thundered upward. They were right behind me. The message flashed in my mind. There's only one way out. The rooftop. If the door was locked, if this was a setup, I was done for. But I couldn't stop now, not with them closing in. The race against time. My legs burned as I pushed higher, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. One more flight, then another, then the final door. I lunged for the handle and yanked. It didn't move. Locked. Panic surged through me. No, 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 no. Footsteps closer. I turned, my back slamming against the door, just as the first shadow appeared below. A figure. Then another. They were here. The last message. My phone buzzed in my hand. One last time. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to waste a second. But something told me this was it. I flicked my eyes down, my fingers gripping the phone so tight it could snap. Look up I did, and that's when I saw it. A metal ladder bolted to the wall, leading even higher. Higher than the rooftop. It was my only chance. I shoved my phone in my pocket, grabbed the cold metal bars, and climbed.